This is Mercy Pilkington for Good e-Reader in London at Future Book Event, speaking today to someone from Barnes & Noble who just finished a presentation actually on the expansion into the UK with the Nook. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us how that went?
So I'm Patrick Rouvoillois. I'm a Managing Director International for Barnes & Noble, in charge of developing the business outside of the US.
Okay.
So I think it's a very interesting event, very good opportunity to explain what we want to be doing outside of the US.
So you talked about in your presentation some of the features that the Nook incorporated, like the profiling of the different users, a lot of the family-friendly activities and events that would work with the Nook. You also talked about how you partner with booksellers and different retailers here in the UK. So how will you translate that into the 10 markets that the Nook will be approaching in the coming year?
I think what we've done in the UK is very much a very interesting example of what we could be doing in other markets. We are obviously going to adapt our approach to each market, each condition. But in the UK, we had a very strong push with 8 partners present in more than 1,500 stores across the UK. 2 booksellers, which are Foyles and Blackwell's, but also a department store, John Lewis, a multi-channel operator, which is Argos, consumer electronics with Dixon's. So we worked with them to ensure we have the best way to discover what the device can offer in the store. At the same time, we had also a strong push on the marketing side. So it's been an approach to the UK market. We are going to look at how we are going to be addressing the other markets we are going to be entering in the coming year, and we will adapt a function of the stage of development of e-reading in that market, how the retail structure is being structured. So we will adapt to each market.
And that's wonderful because everything we've been hearing today is how so much of publishing has got to shift to a more consumer-based feedback to find out what it is readers want and expect from their books and from their devices. Fantastic. So basically now I'd like to ask you quickly about Pubit. I know that's not exactly an international focus yet, but it's working in that direction. So what can self-publishing offer in these foreign markets?
I think I mean, in general, e-books, for lots of, I would not say foreign market, but for a lot, for example, of developing markets, are a huge opportunity to, widen the base of people who can have access very easily to key books, which are, difficult to get if you look at India, for example, in the education side. Pubit, I think, will also be an opportunity for a lot of people who wants to, express themselves to be able to do that in those markets where the infrastructure or the business is probably not, in some cases, as developed as it could be in more developed markets.
Thank you. And we also have seen in the U.S. a lot of focus for Barnes & Noble on college campuses and with the Nook with adapting to e-textbooks. Do you see that eventually growing into a bigger focus in these markets where we get into an academic focus as well as a pleasure reading focus?
I think definitely, if I look, 10 years down the road, for sure, I think education is going to be completely transformed by e-books. And even the way we are going to be learning is going to be completely transformed, and that will be touching, I think, the whole population of the globe, including obviously a lot of the emerging markets like India, China, and if we are talking 10 years down the road, definitely Africa.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Again, this is Mercy Pilkington at London at Future Book for Good e-Reader.